Good evening, everybody. Welcome to, what is it, our 94th CAF update. And yes, I'm in my new location in the house, kind of been excommunicated to the office that doesn't have a interesting backdrop like the fireplace. But I hope we'll get used to it, and eventually there will be art on the walls and all that fun stuff, but no echo. Yeah, Bill Void, thank you very much, Mikhail. I knew everybody would appreciate the change of scenery. But yeah, I didn't bring anything down with me at all as far as art to hang on the walls, or I didn't even bring any bookshelves or anything. So it's this backdrop for a little bit, I think, and probably until I get back to Ohio. Bare walls, exactly. No fireside chat. You got it. I know. I should draw a little height chart behind me. But yeah, so this is the new office space. It's actually pretty nice, and it will look great at some point, but it's going to be a long, it's going to be a long time before you see any art on the walls here, because of course I'll be going back to Ohio on this, what is it, the 27th of May. Probably won't get back down here until I'm guessing August 1st, sometime around in there, but we'll see. You never know. Perfect color to green screen. It could work. It could work. We've done a lot of different stuff on tan walls before, but there you go. This is the atypical Florida wall color, as everybody knows. So nice to see everybody in the chat before the show got live, as always. You know that. Yeah, there you go. Please don't anybody send me anything for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So let's put it that way. Until I'm settled here, where I'm back in Ohio for a couple months. Yeah, let's not mail me any packages, because actually, you know what, Maureen and Ashton are going to be at home starting next week. But yeah, at any rate, busy week for me, as everybody knows. Big move over Monday and Tuesday, driving down to Florida. Spent the whole weekend packing, and then pretty much hit the ground running here, right? I had a show on Tuesday with Frank Lanza, did Dueling Dealers last night, which was fun with the guys. But yeah, we won't have a lot of innovation, with the memes and things like that, probably until June, and we'll see how it goes. Maureen said that she's bringing over the green screen that she used with her parents. So, you've seen Jack and Jan and some of our memes in the past. So I guess she's got a green screen over there she's going to bring over. So I might be shooting some things. We'll see. I didn't bring any of the good lighting that I have at home, so it might not work out as well. Paint the wall green, says Marcus. Yeah. Then I could have any background I want, right? I know everybody. I know it's a corner too. I knew, and I literally just turned the camera to face it, that because if I didn't, like, see over here, it's not much more interesting. But the my office space is, while it's attached to the house, it's actually a separate, it's got a separate entrance, separate bathroom, separate hot water tank, separate AC and everything. So yeah, I just figured the door isn't really something we'd want in the shot tonight. But hey, I've got large cans of Coke tonight, and I need it. So it's been busy. Ashton was only able to help me drive down to Florida, so I got him over to the airport today, and he's already off doing his own thing. He's part of I think I've told you guys what Ashton does. He, outside of the work that he does with me, helping out with the meme editing and a lot of the video editing that we do, Ashton is also he's a friend of ours. He started a business where they're entertainers. They dress up as superheroes, or you name it. They go out to corporate events and entertain people. But he's also expanded his business, where they bought those like life-size dinosaur costumes, where the person is inside it doing the animatronics. All they have is a video screen in front of them to see what they're actually doing, and they've got to control the dinosaurs' movements. I mean, some of the dinosaurs are big enough they got 2 people in them. Sometimes guys are on stilts inside of them. So they've come up with this dinosaur show, and he's doing that. He's got a show this weekend in Kentucky, and I think he's got probably 4 more throughout the summer. So he's doing all these crazy, fun, interesting things. I haven't gotten to see him do it yet. But hopefully at some point, he said he's going to be down in Florida, I think either in August or September. So this should be pretty fun. So yes, Bill's in a timeout. Everybody's asking me if I'm in a timeout. Yeah, I'm relegated to this office space for now. I'll figure out something. There's got to be something I can hang on the walls before the next show, right? We'll work it out, I promise. Dueling dinosaurs. That's right. Do alligators eat cake? We'll find out. I'll tell you, I got stung by a bee today trying to take the trash out. I have learned a lesson not to grab anything that's been outside in Florida for 2 or 3 weeks that hasn't been moved before, because bees made a nest inside, like where you put your hand to grab the darn trash receptacle thing. I was just trying to move it to a different spot so I could load it up with some garbage, and put my hand in there, and a whole bunch of wasps flew out of it. So live and learn. I've got a big learning curve here moving down to Florida, but no alligators in sight as of yet. So we've got a lot we have a lot to talk about, but at the same time, I'll tell you, I'm pretty wiped out. So I'm going to go quick on most of the stuff that we've got going in here. But there was, where should I even start? I guess, I saw a couple things pop up in some of the feeds that I'm a part of on Facebook, some conversations going on that some people here are in on as well. A question came up about the CAF classifieds, and there was, and they were complaining about the fact that we have auction houses that are premium members and post in the CAF classifieds, and why is that? And that should never be, and it shouldn't work like that. At the end of the day, the way I've always looked at the classifieds, while we like to look at it and we call it a marketplace, and at the end of the day, it really isn't, right? It's not transactional. And so I've always kind of looked at the classifieds as, if someone's a premium member, and if they wanted to PR something, I mean, they can do that. And I wouldn't want, like, a collector, I guess, to promote their eBay auctions. But when I've got an auction house that pays me 5 figures in advertising every year, if they're going to temporarily promote their art for sale in the classifieds, then I think that I've never had a problem with that. I've kind of turned the other cheek. I've kicked other people out if they don't support CAF, in different ways. I have definitely given several people the boot, or just corrected them on what they can and can't do within the classifieds. But it's just something that I've always done, and I don't see necessarily changing that. We've talked a lot about taking the classifieds for some people and moving it into something that's more of a marketplace, or things that are literally for sale. They're for sale. They're where we can kind of do validate a sale, so we can start giving people positive feedback, whether they're the buyer or the seller. When we get to that stage, and I do think it's going to happen, probably, who knows, could be a year from now, could be 6 months from now, who knows. But when it gets to that point, the auction houses wouldn't be allowed to put or kind of highlight their stuff into that kind of a scenario within what we could at that point really consider a CAF marketplace, right? Because that would be something that it's kind of needed, at least on the feedback side of things, for buyers and sellers. So I think at least when I get to that point, we would be able to exclude auction houses from that. So I don't see the person who brought that up in the chat that I was in making any comments. So they're probably not here. But at any rate, yes, I see Colin mentions that it's a pain in the butt to scroll through them all the time, every day. And I do agree. I agree. And that's why we just kind of need to elevate it. Because think about it. I mean, classifieds, if they're in the newspaper, right there, I mean, there's people are putting buy, they're looking to buy all kinds of stuff in the classifieds. And so I always did, well, it's a premium member feature. I always kind of looked at the classifieds as I don't know. I'm probably looking at it all in the wrong way. You as collectors probably, would prefer I look at it differently. But I think that there's something positive coming in the future that will kind of make things a lot more better for all of us as buyers and as sellers as well. Sorry, Dino says classified should have a price, inquire, or at auction, not. Yeah, okay, I understand. I get it. Sorry, and it's a slippery slope, just as Mr. Easy Go Lucky has said. And that's the problem, with CAF being around for 19 years, I have turned the other cheek on a lot of different things, and you get to that point and it's problematic. How do you work within the rules that you've allowed people to bend for so long? So yeah, I think at some point, like I say, we're going to have something better that's more official as a marketplace, and once that's there, our focus will change. Colin, as an editor, will be looking more at these things that are things that are guaranteed, items that are for sale, that we can collect feedback on from buyers and sellers, and and we'll kind of pivot. The classifieds will still be there, but probably the main focus for us as in an editorial standpoint will be on this new system that we put together. It'll still be integrated and easy, I hope, for everybody to use. But yes, so sorry, just looking through the chat here. So other than that, there were a couple other things. I don't know if Scott Wingo's out there, but there were a couple of things that he brought up in the chats as well. And I'm only talking about these now because typically I'd have time to reply when I see my name mentioned in some of these conversations, because of course I get a ping through Messenger on my phone. So I do read them, but I don't always have time to reply to them. But one of Scott's comments was he was trying to do some research, and he noted that we did import all of the Comic Art L post history when it got dumped by the Yahoo groups. And it's for those of you who were part of the Comic Art L for all that time, for the last 20, 21 years, there's a vast amount of Q&A that's in there that's really would be really beneficial for us as a hobby to get through. And also, again, it's back to that you could be searching on things that people have either put up for sale and promoted through the Comic Art L just to see if it was ever out there. A lot like, oh, Scott's there too. All right, so to answer the question about why there isn't a search, I mean, the problem is there isn't a search on the forums at all. And when we imported all the data from the Yahoo groups, again, there just wasn't and we wedged it into our forum format, which wasn't too hard because it was almost identical, it turned out. But so at the end of the day, we need a search in the forums across the board. And when we do that, that would also then allow us to search the Comic Art L forum. So, and it kind of comes back to that whole concept that I mentioned a few weeks back, where I want to be able to, in a redesigned format, take the search box at the top of the site and allow you to choose what you want to search on, whether you're searching on art from galleries, art for sale, comments, some stuff in the forums, or your email, right? I mean, pretty much anything that is out there that should be searchable should give you that option in the overall search box. So lots of stuff that we need to address, and searching in the forums has always been one of them. And Scott, I actually saw my name pop up in the chat again by you about an hour ago, but I didn't get a chance to read it, where it said something about a potential new avenue of something. Maybe you were joking about bringing new people to CAF, but I'll look at that and maybe address whatever that question is next week, or I'll address it in the chat. But that's the issue with the search on the forums and why it's not there. And it really does. It's not fair that we imported all that data and then didn't give anybody a way to really research it, because it happened so quickly when Yahoo groups was dumping the whole concept, that we just had to get that data out of there as quickly as possible. And it was an absolute nightmare, because the format that Yahoo gave it to us, we basically had to download it in about 10 different chunks of data, because they wouldn't give us the whole file at one time. So, and it overlapped data. So Maureen had this mess of pulling all the data together, deleting out, duplicate threads that appeared in it. So just getting through all that was tough, but at least we have it all in there now. New marketplace for live video called Whatnot. Yeah, it's funny. I'm getting a new roof put on the house down in here, Florida, and I literally had one of the roofers come over, and he saw I had my Dueling Dealers shirt on, and it's it says Comic Art on there, and he's like, "You into comics?" He goes, "Are you buying stuff on Whatnot?" I'm like, at any rate, it's amazing how they've used that platform to kind of get the word out there about as a different auction platform and that sort of thing. So it's again, just surprising. I mean, your roofer is not the guy that you would expect to do that, but he's been buying and selling comics on there for quite some time. Sorry, TikTok the art. Yeah, Marcus, I know. And yeah, it is Nick's birthday on Saturday. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. So, all right. Well, so let me so I can scratch those off the list. Classifieds, that's where I'm at with that. And I hope, and that was actually Fish's question or comment or that he had asked about. And Fish is going to be on one of our chats in the near future. We were emailing before the show a couple days ago, and I just haven't had a chance to give him any dates yet. Because as you'll see when we get to the schedule, I've actually not had a single second to even schedule anybody for the month of June, but I do hope to get to that in the next few days. Larry says a new roof costs a lot. Boy, are you right. We, I put a new roof on in Ohio about 10 years ago, and I think it only cost about $12,000. And that was on a 3,000 square foot home. And this house is just a little bit bigger than that. And the lowest quote I've gotten so far is $27,000. So I was a bit surprised. I was expecting it because the material costs and labor costs are all up, and apparently in Florida, roofs are something that everybody needs to replace. So I knew the pricing was going to be high, but to have more than doubled, gone up at least 130% in the last 10 years is crazy. Yes, and inflation. I mean, so it's across the board, but I just would never. I was thinking it was going to be 30, but in my heart, in my mind, I was thinking it's going to come back as 20. It's got to come back as 20, 24, somewhere around in there. So what are you going to do? Crazy prices on everything. So, and speaking of prices, there was a lot of chatter in one of the groups that I'm a part of as well, because everybody's watching the stock market lately, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I think what is it down in the last 3 weeks? It's sizable, and it seems like every day it's going down another percent. And I agree with a lot of the people who are commenting in those threads about it'll be very interesting to see what happens on Comic Art Live next weekend. And even more interesting to see what happens in the Heritage signature auction that happens. When is that? That's around the 8th or 9th of June. So that's going to be. I'm curious too. I mean, I don't think that we're going to see prices go down, but if we see everything be very level and stabilize, I think that we're going to find that we're finally seeing the issues with inflation and all those other things really finally impacting the hobby enough to at least kind of damp down the crazy prices that we've been seeing for so long. Stock market, you mean? Yeah, that's right, Mikhail. A lot of people have been treating auctions a lot like a stock market, I guess, right? I mean, that's very true. But again, I don't think we're going to see a downturn. I just think we're going to see is we could go in and maybe say, 6 months ago, this piece of art would have gone up another 25%. And then I think what we're going to find is that it didn't go up at all, or maybe it only went up about 5. It'll be a lot like the last Heritage recap that we did, where there were so many shockers, right, that didn't reach prices that we thought they should reach, given the way the market has been performing of late. But I didn't get the chance to go back and ask Anthony about it. But there was something on, I think he was watching CNN or something, so he sent me a screen grab from whatever he was on the screen, and it said collectibles are where people are putting their money. So, and it had a picture of a comic book on it. So it's actually making the news that that people are actually using the collectibles markets in different ways to sock some money away that they know they're not going to lose out on over time. But again, I still don't think it's a super widespread thing with investors coming in and doing that. But it actually made the news. I'll have to ask him what he was watching. But leaky roofs lead to mold, which goes into the art markets. Yeah, well, I still haven't even addressed the issue of how I'm going to store my art once I get down here. But this room has its own, like I mentioned, as far as AC and dehumidifiers and whatnot. The office space here is isolated from the rest of the house and has all of that already built into it. So maybe I'll be all right. But inflation, speaking of that, the gas prices driving down. When I drove a U-Haul from Florida to Ohio 3 years ago, I think I spent $220 in gas. Going down this time, it was about $480 in gas going down. That's 3 Phillips. I mean, I didn't even know that there was a limit on how much gas you can put into a vehicle, but it's $125. It didn't matter what state I was in. I hit $125 and it stopped pumping gas. So live and learn. I said that to one of the roofers, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it used to be $75, but now that the gas prices are up, everybody raised it to $125." So yeah, it's definitely where things are at. What is Nick saying here? There was a video that came out from Reserved Investments, how an Andy Warhol that went for $195 million, and people were disappointed that it didn't hit 3. Right. Well, that's kind of like what we were thinking about, Nick, I mean, when we were doing the Heritage recap, right? There were lots of things where we thought, given the market, we were thinking things were going to go a lot higher than they did. So yeah, and it was the highest ever paid for art. I do. Things are interesting right now. All right, let me go off of that. So let's see what else I got going on for you guys. I have emailed with the Billy Ireland Museum, and they're very happy that that I guess they're really excited that there's a lot of comic card collectors interested in showing up there. So I'm working out the particulars, and again, I think I highlighted that it was probably going to be August 12th, I believe that I picked as a date. Let me just double check that on my calendar here. Where are you? Yeah, August 12th, Friday, August 12th. You can pencil that into your calendars if you're thinking of joining us for that behind the scenes tour at the Billy Ireland Museum. There'll be a Charles Schultz exhibit going on at the same time, and a few other exhibits of note. But that day is the one that I guess fits their schedule best and my schedule best, and I think it falls in between two major cons on the weekend of the 6th or the 20th. So 12th is what I'm looking at right now. I didn't get a chance to reply to them this week, but I'm going to try to give them a call tomorrow and firm all that up. But what they've offered us is they have a reading room where we can select artworks that we want them to set out for us, but also they are going to kind of cherry pick lots of different stuff. Apparently they have cool things that aren't part of the searchable database. Things like sketchbooks that have a lot of artwork from the 70s from lots of cool artists. So they said that I can give them a selection of artwork that we'd want to have set out to view when we go there, but they will also kind of go through and pick things out. And they said as part of the behind the scenes tour where they show off how they store the art and where they store the art, they've already would pre-select a lot of artwork that isn't on exhibit that they don't normally show. And while they're giving you the tour, they will actually be showing us the artwork that they've kind of cherry picked to show off. So I'll get more details on all of that. It was at least that I finally got a couple people who are willing to get back with me, and they're very amicable. They want to have this thing happen. And as I've mentioned before, we would do that on the Friday in August 12th, and then on the 13th. I'm going to contact Cozy in Columbus and make sure that the Marvel exhibit will be open to the public on the 13th, because that's the thing. I want to be able to do both Billy Ireland on the 12th and then the Marvel exhibit on the 13th. So I will get more details out on that ASAP for everybody. And certainly, anybody in this neck of the woods, in the Ohio area, I hope you can make it. I know a few people have told me that they would actually fly out if we were going to do a kind of tour like that. So I'll keep everybody posted. Maybe I'll have something more firmed up by next week. Yes, Mikhail, you are quite welcome. And yep, Larry, Larry, you had mentioned you'd want to come out. I know that several other people have contacted me as well, but that's looking like the way it's going to be. And that's kind of where I'm half debating waiting until that weekend is over to make my final move out of Ohio. So I just have to figure it out. But at any rate, you put that down, and we'll do a get together for that as well. I agree, Dino, but I know, Dino, you had that one issue where you weren't able to see the Marvel exhibit, so that's why I've got to call Cozy next and make sure there's nothing funny going on that weekend. So, all right, what do we got here? I did mail out all the Dueling Dealer trading cards, and I got some photographs back from Rick Welch. He was showing off what he got. So here's a couple pictures for you. That was with my drawing of the Warlord. I think I showed that off a few times, but he was quite happy. You can see the fat stack of cards there, and even took a picture with the cover I ripped off to make my trading card. But again, Sharon did a much better job on her trading cards than I did. But I'm glad that Rick enjoyed getting his box in the mail. So thanks for sending me those pictures, Rick. I do sincerely appreciate it. That was fun, and I got several emails from other people as well that enjoyed taking a look at the cards. And then again, there are 80 cards in there. We did a lot of extra ones from the first 25 episodes that we threw in, and will I do it again? I don't know, but I'm glad that I got to do it because I've kept a set for myself, and of course Mike and Anthony got a set, and it was nice getting those out there to those of you who backed it on the Kickstarter. Let's see here. Send them for grading, says CJ. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be huge collectibles at the end of the day. But West, you posted yours on CAF. I'm sorry, I did not see it. I didn't. I'll check out your CAF gallery after the show. Let's see here. We've already announced that it's Nick's birthday on Saturday. He's a year younger than I am, 53. So let me go ahead. He's doing a special show tomorrow on the EXP from 7 until 8 p.m. like he always does on Fridays. So he had sent me a video clip that is promoting the show, but also some special deals on the show. So I did show this clip on Tuesday, but I'm going to show it to you again right now.
Hey everybody, this Friday, May 13th, happens to be the day before my birthday on the 14th. I'll be 53. So at 7 p.m. on the Original Art Experience, we're going to have 5 pieces of artwork at $53. We're going to have a lot more artwork, but I want to give you a teaser video on the 5 pages at $53, which is how old I'll be on the 14th. So we'll have Aquaman 67, $53. Weapon X number 4, $53. Silver Surfer 128, $53. Avengers number 50, $53. Last Defenders number 3. I can't remember how much that one's going to be. So this Friday, May 13th, the day before my birthday, it's going to be my birthday, but you get the presents because you're going to get the ability to pick these up at $53 each. And I will see you Friday at 7 on the Original Art Experience. And by the way, hit that thumbs up, share, and let your friends know. It's going to be an exciting Friday, and I'll be back with another video. See you Friday at 7.
Yes. So what can we do to celebrate? Well, we should all tune into the EXP tomorrow between 7 and 8. That's what we should all do. And that'll be a great way for everybody to celebrate Nick's birthday early. I'm sure he's got good plans on Saturday, I would hope. So yeah, Friday's a thing. Tune in and just, if you don't buy anything, just enjoy the show. Nick puts on a great show, as we all know. And Nick has crossed the 1,000 subscriber threshold on the EXP, which is ultra important because I was watching last Friday and the show was getting the tips, and that's exactly where the EXP needed to get, and that because that was a big turning point for us doing these shows as well. So support Nick by giving him a tip every now and again, and it's good. Tip the show because they put in a lot of work there, and Nick and I both know what that's like. So congratulations to Nick for hitting the 1,000 subscriber count. And it's not easy, but it kind of keeps growing exponentially, right? I mean, where am I at right now? I think we're just under 3,000 subs, believe it or not. I think the last time I checked, we were about 18 away. So that'll be cool. We'll hit 3,000, and that'll make me happy. I'll do another video montage of some kind. But yes, you're quite welcome, Nick. I mean, it's hard work. And and Nick, you know that more than anybody because you guys do regular shows every single night of the week. So yeah, getting to 1,000 was tough. I mean, it seemed like it took forever. It took us well over a year, and that's about what it took you too, Nick. I mean, it's just not easy to get that kind of traction. But one thing I was going to mention tonight too. Next Thursday, I'm going to do some giveaways. And the reason is because next Thursday is, let's see, it's February. Man, I'm telling you, I was thinking of something from a couple months ago. May 19th. What happened on May 19th 2 years ago? That was the first live stream that we did together before the first Comic Art Live Virtual Con. And that was that show with Mike, Will, and Glenn. And it was funny. I went back because I was like, I know it's coming up. I should check and see what the date is. And it was the 19th. And it was funny because going back and looking at that, I have to give kudos because the first person to make a comment on a live stream. I mean, can anybody guess? Well, you could guess, but I'll just tell you, the first person to make a comment in a live stream that we did was Ruben, and the second one was Rob Rush, actually. So. But the funny thing was that we were on a lot. We did the whole chat for about an hour and a half, there were only about 10 total comments in the whole thing. So it's funny. Ruben commented immediately saying, something about 4 good-looking guys on the screen, and then after that, I think we got maybe one comment every 10 minutes. And you look at where we're at today, and you see, we have more than 10 comments before a show starts. Any show starts anymore, right? So it's definitely come a long way in 2 years, the overall show and just the community that we've been able to kind of put together. But Carlos is asking me if I'm in a safe space. Yeah, this is my this is any rate. Yes, I am in purgatory at the moment, but I'm going to ask Maureen. She's going out tomorrow. Told her she should probably I'm going to have to ask her to find me something to hang on the wall. We can't go like this for 2 more weeks. But 10 comments in a minute now. That's right, Jeff. But it was funny. I want to go back and look at who all those commenters were. But Ruben definitely deserves a no prize for being the first person to ever leave a comment on a live stream. And he did it in the first minute. I probably was thinking, wow, this is going to be so easy. We're going to get comments the whole show. And after that, it was literally the chat, I don't think scrolls on a normal monitor resolution if you look at that first show, because it could just fill that little tiny space. But everything has changed since then, and it was a compliment. You're absolutely right, Ruben. It was. You broke the ice for us. It made things a whole lot easier, because when we started that, I think we were all just thinking we were going to be talking to ourselves. Nobody was actually going to be watching. And when I looked at it too, I think the peak number of users that watched that first one was about 12. So, and we have 81 watching now. But again, it just that was an important moment in all the things that we've ever done here. So I will be doing a giveaway next Thursday, and I hope everybody tunes in for that. We'll be doing some T-shirts and a few other things, I'm sure. So Mr. Red Jack says I should put some skulls on the wall before Maureen sees it. No, I can't do that. And again, Ruben, of course, I know you've always been encouraging us. I've never felt any different. So but again, it was a good thing for us, because it was we were all pretty nervous about trying to get out there and doing something live, and just having a few people tune in was worth it. Ruben is worthy, says Dino. But yeah, so definitely tune in next week. I will have at least probably do like 10 T-shirts at a minimum, and then we'll I don't know. I'll try to figure out a couple other things. I need to talk to Nick about something. But okay, why don't like I said, I want to kind of get through tonight's show a little quicker than usual. I swear, I promise. And let's take a look at a couple different things here. First off is going to be the schedule, and I've had to change a couple things here in my set. So I have not changed a whole lot on the schedule, but I'll just show it off anyway. That on Saturday, I will be doing a Lake Como live stream with Tatiana. We're going to run through a few tests tomorrow and just see how the internet connection is. But she was over there, in the setup today, and said that her connection seemed to be pretty strong as far as the amount of bandwidth that they had there. So we're going to run a test tomorrow, and I don't have the time firmed up yet, but I believe it's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern. I haven't put it on the schedule yet, but I'll definitely confirm with her in the morning. But 10 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday is when we'll be doing that. And, it'll be interesting. I believe we'll be able to have a quick chat with Annabelle from Kirby's Comic Art. And, heck, Bashar is even there. So who knows whom we'll get to talk to. But she said she was going to be walking around and just we'll be doing brief interviews with a few people, and she'll be showing off the show floor layout and everything. And of course, I know there's a lot of collectors that are going to that show. So Mark Hayes out there as well as a dealer. I think who was the other? Well, there's a couple of the dealers that are there. At any rate, it should be fun, and I'm looking forward to meeting Annabelle and getting to see what the show looks like. And maybe next year, I'll even make a trip out to Lake Como. We'll see. Next Monday evening, Larry is hosting the Comic Art Live preview. That should be fun. And as I can show the other slide as well. If you're interested in being on the Comic Art Live preview, where you can show off a few pieces of art that you're bringing for sale to next weekend's Comic Art Live virtual con, please hit me up with an email, or you can contact Larry through his CAF. basically we're looking for about five of the artworks that you have available that you'd like to preview, and give some idea on what the pricing may or may not be. And that'll be it. It'll be more of just a fun chat session, and Larry will be in charge of that one. I will probably be watching that show since I'm not in the middle of moving at that point. But Larry did a great job on Monday, and I sincerely appreciate that. And I'm really happy that he's doing this one as well, because it gives me one extra night off before Comic Art Live happens next weekend. So after that, I've got Jason Sean Alexander the following Monday on the 23rd, Stephen DeVeach on the 24th. And if anybody's friends with Steve, he's really funny guy. And if you're following him on Facebook, he's always talking about his son. And I mean, I look forward to anything he posts, of course. So he has worked his son into his show thumbnail, which I've got to put together tomorrow and just put it on the schedule. Usually I wouldn't, put something that far in advance on, but it is so funny, the photograph he put together with his kid, that it's priceless. So I'll have that posted tomorrow, and Colin can get that wedged into the upcoming video chat schedule that we push out daily in the mailing. I'll have Jim Food on May 31st. And then, as I've always had before, I've got the Prop Store preview with Chuck Costas on the 6th of June. And Joe and Nadia will be doing the Heritage preview on the 14th. So now we know the Heritage preview or signature auction will start on the 16th. So Thursday the 16th. So that will be the weekend we'll all be watching the Heritage auction to see how things go. And as far as sales go, I do have a sales show on Saturday with Kat and Sharon. That's their second bout. That will be at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I've got Sharon's artwork already, and have not seen Kat's yet, but I think she might have uploaded it tonight. So I'll take a look out for that. But Sharon's got a lot of nice pieces again, kind of similar to the themes that she carried over from the first show, I'd say. So it should be good. I haven't gotten any new memes from either of them, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get a lot or not. But fingers crossed that we do. Next Wednesday on the Dueling Dealers, we're going to have, it's listed as a $2,000 and up show. I've let the guys kind of figure out what they wanted to do. And from what I believe they agreed to while I was driving down here, it will be a 15-round bout, but they're only going to have one piece per round. And because they're, typically we do the higher end pieces, single pieces in a round. So they agreed to do just a 15 bout round with one piece per round, 60 seconds per round. So that's where it's going to go. And I know Mike's shoot for the moon. I know he's brought, he gave that list yesterday, and I talked with him about some of the pieces. And so, yeah, there's a lot of doozies in there. I know that the more expensive pieces tend to not sell on the shows, and that's why we've typically avoided doing a show like this. So I don't have a lot of huge expectations for high sales on that show, but it'll be fun to see the work, because I think I mentioned this last week or the week before. Mike had been setting aside artwork to go against Albert for the longest time. So he was creating this stockpile because he wanted to beat him. And well, we've just not really been able to get a schedule worked out to have Albert back on the show. So that's why Mike, he's going to be dipping into that stockpile, and a lot of the artwork is going to be pretty impressive. So whether it sells or not, who knows? But I would imagine what will happen is more sales will happen after the show, when people can actually negotiate, whether it's like, hey, I'll give you some trade for this, because when pieces get to that level, you just can't. You can't agree in 60 seconds that you would want to spend a lot of money on something like what we're going to show. So, we'll do this. We'll see how it goes. And we'll probably never do it again, but never say never. Okay. What else I got on here? We are going to be doing a special sale with Michael Finn. As a collector, Michael approached me. I mean, he's had a lot of fun on the chats when we've had him on, and he said, hey, I've got some art I want to sell. And rather than just dumping it in the classifieds, how about I come on the show and we can sell it right then and there? And I'm like, well, okay, we've never really done a show like that before, but I think that that would be fun. So I will have Michael on May 30th. It's a Monday, 9 p.m. And then I've got Howard Chaykin coming back on the 11th of June, and the following day, Sunday, the 12th of June, I'll have Joe Linsner on at 2 p.m. as well. We finally got that worked out with Joe since we had to cancel his show in April. And then Dennis Cowan will be back on July 30th. I still have not firmed up that the deal that I feel I've worked out with a certain rep as far as having another rep along with Jiggy to be doing monthly shows with me. But I think I'm going to be able to talk with them. Well, they're going to be at MegaCon, so I'll be able to talk with them there. But hopefully I'll be able to talk with them before next Thursday, and then I can kind of at least let you guys know who it is we'll be working with on a regular sales show. Is Albert going to be at Como? I don't think Albert went to Como this year, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't mention it to me anyway, so that would have been something that I would have thought if he was going, he would have hit me up with a couple press releases. I think he went to the first Como, if I'm not mistaken. And I know he announced that quite a bit. And yeah, I know he was there because we saw those pictures with him and Neil Adams. So, but no, I don't think Albert went to Como. Like I said, I know Bashar is there, and Marque, Tatiana, and Annabelle. So I think we'll see a lot of photographs starting tomorrow from the show, since they do that Friday evening, kickoff event that they have. So I could show you the slide. There you go. That's where it's all happening, starting tomorrow. But Steve always puts on great shows. We've talked about that numerous times. So I'm looking forward to chatting with them on Saturday and then just seeing all the pictures that come out of that. So rest of my schedule, as everybody knows, I will be at MegaCon the Friday. So that's on, the 20th, May 20th. I've got a panel at 11 a.m. with Ken Carson from 4C Comics and Mike Berkey from RemitaMan.com, of course. And we're just going to, they've asked us to kind of talk about comic art collecting as, why it's a great hobby. So we're going to, I actually brought some art from Ohio to show off while I'm there. Mike will have actually all of his expensive art because he's going to be here for Wednesday's Dueling Dealers show. So he and I will be in this very same room going through that sale together. But when we do the panel, we'll probably be showing the artwork that Mike's brought as well. So it'll be fun. Yeah, they said, well, it's early, 11 o'clock on a Friday. Don't expect too many people to show up. So I just said, well, whatever. I am happy to do it because they asked me they wanted me to do a panel the year before, and I wasn't going to do it because of COVID. So I felt obligated to do it, and I'm looking forward to doing it. I met Kevin at the Cleveland Fan Expo a couple weekends ago. We had a great conversation about it, and I'm excited to do it, and hopefully I'll get to do more of these in the future. Let's see what else we got here. All right, you of course, Comic Art Live. We don't need to talk about that, but if anybody, a lot of more booths have been created. I have not turned on the booth preview. I've got to get that turned on tomorrow because I've actually got some PR going out tomorrow as well. So when just look for that email, because when you get that piece of email, it will have links over to the booth previews, so you can see which collectors and dealers have already started setting up their booths, and it'll give you an overall picture of how much art potentially is there. I haven't even had a chance to look to see how many pieces have been added, but as with the last two shows, I'm expecting it to be somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 pieces of art available by the time the show starts. So we shall see. You never know year to year, and everybody does kind of wait till the last minute. Dino asked about will the MegaCon panel be live streamed? It will not, unfortunately, but Gwen is going to be there with me, and she will film it. So we'll at least have that, and I will share that with everybody after the fact. Yes, and so yeah, answering Koo's question as well, will it be filmed? Yep, it will be filmed. And Hydra says it would be cool to do a Dueling Dealers from the con. We've talked about that. Actually, the tough thing is just going to be to get the three of us together at the same time to try to do something like that. We'd almost have to do that at Heroes, right? Because of the number of collectors that are there. If we were to do it anywhere else, it might not have the same kind of impact, I think. But maybe next year, after we do this first big show with Heroes, this time out, maybe I'll talk with Shelton and see if we can't work out something like that, because it would be fun. But I wouldn't want to, there's so many art selling opportunities already going on at that show. I don't know. Maybe we could do like a warm up before the auction or something. I have no idea, but I've considered it. I definitely think it would be fun, but it would be tough to live stream, and to me, it would be very difficult to be interacting with an audience in front of you, trying to make claims, as well as people if we were trying to stream it at the same time. So it would really have to be limited to the people who were actually in attendance at the show, versus allowing people to see it, to do it as a live stream. Because again, those people who are watching it live are 3 to 5 seconds ahead of everybody else watching it in a live stream. So people in the live stream wouldn't stand a chance. So, but it would be good PR for the hobby. I agree, Hydra. I definitely would like to do it. Trust me. I mean, Anthony, he's talked about it. He wanted to do one from his booth at New York Comic-Con this year, which I told him I don't think they're going to allow us to do something like that in the middle of the exhibit hall. But you never know. But I agree, it would be good PR. And like I mentioned earlier, when I had that roofer over, and he's like, "So what? What? I've never seen any comic art. He only deals in comics." And so I had that portfolio that I brought with me for MegaCon, brought him in, and we talked about it for literally 15 minutes. We talked more about comic art than we talked about his quote. So yeah, he tuned in last night to the Dueling Dealers episode. So I think that when I'm doing these panels, the whole goal is to educate people who are strictly comic collectors, or maybe they're statue collectors, whatnot, and just try to figure out how we can grow the hobby a little bit, bring in some new blood, and just keep things rolling for us all, and for CAF too. Of course, I'll PR CAF, and I don't know if we'll probably talk about Dueling Dealers a little bit, just because we want to educate people on where to buy artwork as well. Talk about the auction houses and CAF and all the dealers, and explain how reps work with, play their role in the whole ecosystem as well. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll definitely be a good time. Ask for a comic art discount, but I must have missed that part, Marcus. But at any rate, Comic Art Live weekend of May 21st, 22nd. Don't forget that on the evening of the 20th at 9 p.m. we will have that sketch, opportunity thing going on that has already sold out. It sold out in a little under 24 hours. Once I was able to push the regular announcement out, and Tatiana and Ken and Jiggy kind of put their announcements out there as well, everything sold. So we had 48 sketch opportunities for that. And on that Friday before the show, I think all 3 or 2 people from 4C will be sketching, and 5 or 6 people from Jiggy will be sketching as well. So I've already given them their lists. I could tell each one of you who picked up something, who's drawing your sketch, but I'm not going to. But all the assignments were done randomly, and all the artists get to know is which character they're going to be working on. So I think it's going to be fun. It'll definitely be an interesting live stream. Jiggy's going to be there with me. Ken from 4C said he would pop in, though he is of course set up at MegaCon, so I don't know how much time he's going to have to hang out with me, but we'll do our best and have fun with that. And it's just kind of a warm up to having the whole Comic Art Live event that weekend. So looking forward to doing it. And given the fact that everything sold out so quickly, I think that once it's over and we've kind of got the artwork shipped out, I think that we'll sit down and try to reevaluate how can we make it better, maybe offer a better sketch levels, who knows. But at the end of the day, I just want to make something fun. I think everybody's who picked it up sent me an email, just said, hey, it's always good to be trying to be a little innovative, doing something new. So that's just part of it. So hey, I'm back with my bare wall. It was better looking at slides for a while, wasn't it? But if anybody has any issues with Comic Art Live, I know this time around I've probably had about a dozen new people create booths, so I've been answering a lot of questions. So anybody who is setting up a booth that runs into anything that doesn't seem to make sense to them, let me know. But I have talked with Maureen. I have to stress that we are going to be pushing out that keyword alert to premium members only. Non-premium members will not get a delayed 8-hour later keyword alert based on their want list keywords. But we are going to push out a keyword alert 30 minutes before the art drops happen. So at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, we will push out an alert for everybody, and then the hall will open to premium members at 11 a.m. and at 1 p.m. for non-premium members. So non-premium members won't get that email delayed. And then on Sunday, the Sunday art drop happens at 11 a.m. as well. So at 10:30 a.m. we will do the art drop, or the want list preview push as well for that. So it's it should be interesting. I guess I'm starting to think about it. It's almost like I shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I should be doing it right. Here's a good question for everybody. Should I do it at 10:30 or should I do it right at 11 when the art drop actually happens? Because so Scott says he loves it because it gets him to plan his booth path. So 30 minutes is fair. I'm gonna guess everybody feels that's premium would love to get it 30 minutes in advance to kind of plan ahead. I like that idea. I think it works. The only reason I thought, wait a minute, well, I'm not even going to tell you why I thought maybe I shouldn't do it before 11. Nick Ferrucci says at 11. Well, no, I'm not. At any rate, I don't want to give anybody ideas, but so I'll have to ponder it a little bit. I really felt that the half hour, 10:30 is better because at 11 o'clock everything's hectic. You don't want to be reading an email. You want to be hitting the halls. So I would agree. The only question, well, see, I can't, whatever. What'll happen. This is exactly what will happen is that every, you're going to see something you like. You're going to know it's in my booth and you're going to ask me at 10:31 if you can buy it before the hall even opens. And I know that happens all the time anyway, right? But I guess, doing the well, how about we just wait and see how it works, right? Because, I still want it to be fair. I mean, because this is a benefit to premium members exclusively. And I don't want premium members to think, that somehow they're getting, too big of a leg up, an advantage. I mean, like Ron says, maybe 10:45. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to kind of run some tests beforehand, because if somebody's email ends up having 500 pieces in it, there's no way they're going to be able to scroll that and scan it in a 15-minute window either. So I don't know. Let me ponder it some more. Splitting the difference might be a good idea, or sticking to 10:30 and then gathering feedback after the show might be better, because we'll learn a lot as far as how the preview works, because I want to kind of work it into like a show tab, right? I mean, that's common for most cons. They put out a daily show tab. So I felt like what we would be doing for the premium members is just that, is giving you a quick preview of things that are going on at the show. It gives me an opportunity to kind of ping everybody as well, letting them know what panels are happening and a few other things, remind people about the following day's art drop. So, I want to try to really continue to make Comic Art Live as much like a in-person show as possible. Want list notifications have no prices, right? If so, you know what, Dino, that is the way to get around it. No prices. I wasn't, to me, I'm just thinking I could show it with the price or something, but no, just giving you the idea of who's got it. And all right, I like that idea. It's like knowing, no, that's true. And we already seen it. I've watched a few people kind of already tease what they're bringing or who they're bringing art from. So yeah, I think we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And then we'll just kind of measure the feedback after everything gets settled down. That Thursday after the show will be fun. We'll have a nice talk about Comic Art Live. What else? I'm missing some chats here, but yeah. All right. So we got that out of the way. I think that's like all the main list there, and I got it done in less than an hour. So let's see. Or maybe I just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions here. It's like knowing that there maybe I'm reading Scott's posts here, like Dino, but a lot of them are Joe's art, and I have no. Yeah. Okay. All right, Scott, I'm with you. Let's we'll stick with 10:30 for this timeout, and then we'll see what everybody thinks after it's all over. Digging up TPS reports, says Marcus. All right. So hey, why don't we get on with the CAF update? I can tell you that I've had a. Hopefully, I didn't make any major mistakes putting this together, because Ashton, of course, was here and then he's gone, and so I had to throw everything together. I didn't have all of my template material here that I would normally use to do the work that I do for these, even though it's super minor. But fortunately, this was kind of a terrible period for sellers. So I don't really know why that would have been. But the period in question, of course, is May 2nd through the 8th. And dealers first, $171,000 in sales. I mean, that's like probably it probably isn't the lowest we've had this year, but it's got to be in the top 3 lowest sales weeks all year. And so $171,025 was the total amount. Panel Page came in number 1 with $50,000 in sales. Felix, number 2, $44,000 in sales. Anthony leading the way with the overall sales, 96 overall sales, but at just under $30,000 in sales. Ramita Man had 15, and Albert had 15,000 in sales as well. So let me queue up. See, I've got so many things here. Let me go ahead. Where are you? There it is. Here is the top 6 items from dealers. So like I mentioned, dealer sales, 171,000. This first artwork is by Salvador LaRocca, sold by Panel Page Art, and the asking price on this one, $12,000. And next up, this one came from Panel Page as well, Rob Liefeld, Deadpool Bad Blood cover. Number 2, this one had an asking price of $7,500, which is a, we're going to hear that price again here, because this one sold for $7,500 as an asking price too, once again from Panel Page. This is the cover to She, number 5 by Mark Silvestri. 3 more to go. Felix Comic Art, $7,500, Riley Rosmo. This is the cover to Harley Quinn issue 11. And there's Harley. Got the train up front. Then 2 more here. Panel Page again. No wonder he came in number 1. Steve Epting cover. This is the cover to Vision issue 3. And that one was $6,500. And finally, a Jim Lee Scott Williams piece sold by Albert Moy. This is an interior page, Superman Unchained, issue 3, page 24, asking price $5,500. There you have it. And yeah, see, not the normal graphics you're used to. I just had to throw something together because I pretty much forgot to bring a whole bunch of stuff with me. And do those, Alberto wanted to know if those sales include Dueling Dealers. I mean, if I was them, the way they would typically record their sales would be that, something gets reserved. They wouldn't record it as a sold item until they got the money. So, I mean, we've seen Mike do that all the time, right? To much consternation is, when Mike gets something claimed, he always puts it as on hold into his existing inventory. So, and we don't record anything until it's actually sold. So, of course, I would assume some of Mike and Anthony's sales always include something from Dueling Dealers, because as we know, a lot of times, some people are paying over, installments and whatnot. But yeah, so I'd say 50-50 typically for Anthony and Mike. Half of their sales are probably from Dueling Dealers, and the other half are just website sales. Clearly, Anthony, I mean, he had 96 sales last week compared to Mike, who had 11 sales total. So that is how it goes. Let's see what else we got there. So, where can I get more info on this art auction? Is it just at the con or is it virtual? I'm sorry, just reading Marty. We don't. If you're talking about Comic Art Live, we don't have an art auction there. It's just all art for sale, and that is next weekend. It's our virtual con. It's the 5th one that we've done, and it pretty much opens at 11 a.m. on Saturday to premium members and 1 p.m. to non-premium members. And it's just about roughly, I would assume we'll have between 150 and 200 exhibitors and up to 4,000 to 5,000 pieces of art available for sale. So, but it's not at auction. It's all fixed price. Everything is everything has to be priced, or it can't be in the show. So that's how it goes. But it's done really well. If you haven't been at one of those shows before, Marty, I think the last 2 shows reached about 1.3 million in sales, and I think probably around an 18% sell rate. So we typically sell around, I think, 700 to 900 pieces during that, and it's a pretty good weekend. A lot of collectors bring out work that they don't normally have offered for sale, and it's a good show. I would agree. Oh, 1 like to 50. I'm terrible at that, but thank you so much for Nick. That always reminding everybody about the likes for me. So yes, if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, I only needed 18 more to get to 3,000. So I know by this time next week we'll be at 3,000. But if I can get there anytime sooner, do that too. Subscribe. So what do we got here? Next up is the auction houses. And believe it or not, they did pretty terrible too. $245,000 in sales this past week as compared to $386,000 the week prior. I'll never understand it, but I was following the eBay auctions a bit, and it was a mess. The things that I'm reporting on too, unfortunately, are probably not even completely accurate. And I'll try to talk about them while the slides actually show, but if not, I can talk about it after. But here, let me go ahead and show you the top 3 from eBay, then the top 3 from Heritage. So 245,622 total sales from the auction houses. eBay made up 151 of that. This first piece is a Neil Adams piece. Now, it's funny. It was listed, and even in the title, signed and numbered Marlon Brando. So it was set at $5,000, but you can't even look it up anymore. So I think somebody figured out it was a print. Next up was this Neil Adams Joker commission. Went actually for $3,000 with a make offer, not the $3,749 that got reported. And this Jim Starlin piece also wanted a make offer. It didn't get sold for $2,789. It got sold for $2,000. Very nice piece, of course, but not anywhere near the published price for that. And so with Heritage, you got this Dick Ayers, Sid Shore, Sergeant Fury 86 title page splash. Really awesome, $5,520. This Kurt Swan, George Russo, Action Comics 381 title page splash went for $4,200. And finally, this Frank Thorne National Lampoon. It's actually 3 pages, and it was from issue 85. I'm not even sure what the numbering was on that one, but the 3 pieces sold for $3,840. But yeah, back to that Neil Adams piece. Obviously we've seen a lot of Neil Adams pieces sell since he passed, as well as with Mr. Perez. So, but with that one, I think somebody didn't read the title, didn't really know what it was, and they probably paid. Like I say, it was listed as sold at $5,000. If I tried to look it up on that site that allows us to do research on what something sold at a make offer, because it actually did say make offer on that piece, but when you try to look it up now, it's gone. So I think that somehow the seller either realized that they misrepresented the piece, or the buyer got confused. Who knows? But at any rate, it got pulled, and even though it was sold, so that actually makes the numbers for the auction houses even worse than it was. You take a couple of those sales out, and they're under $240,000. So again, that's one of the worst weeks that we've seen this year for auction houses as well. I don't know why. I remember Heritage the week before had a lot of high ticket items, but to have their highest ticket item be $5,520, that's not really normal for them. So no Milton Caniffs, those were pretty hot in the last 3 or 4 auctions. So who knows? Because Heritage only sold $94,000 in art last week, with only 24 being over 1,000. And typically they have at least 35 to 40 every auction that's end at $1,000 or higher final bid amount. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the wrong guy was picking art for that week or whatever. But yeah, not a strong week for the auction houses. And I can tell you, I've been with the imports I do for eBay regularly every day. there aren't a lot of high ticket items on eBay this week either. I haven't been following Heritage, but yeah, we'll see how that continues. So that Starling cover was all stats, says Ted. So I didn't even look at it, unfortunately. So $2,000 for a stat. I'd have to go back and look at the scan. I didn't look at it in too much detail because I was up against it to pull all these together as I did. But now you got me curious, Ted. I am going to go back there and look at that. All right. So, hey, Chris Snork is in the green room. He's fresh off of a birthday himself. He's smiling in the green. Hey, Chris, I drank 4 out of 6 of those beers you sent me too. They're all very good. I left 2. Hey, let me get you in here. I can't talk to you when you're in the green room. How are you tonight, man?
I'm good.
Awesome.
4 or 6 that's not bad.
I've got to fix this. But Maureen is a huge Maureen likes to drink coffee flavored beers. So I set the 2 aside just for her.
Nice.
Because, I know that it'll make her happy. Here we go.
If now that's all it takes, Bill, you're doing great.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's funny. Whenever we go out, that's her like drink of choice. She likes stouts, and if she can get a coffee flavored stout, she's all over it.
So there's a great brewery right around your new house. It's called Angry Chair, and that's pretty much what they do best.
Huh? Angry Chair.
Yeah, I think it's named after the Alice in Chains song, if I had to guess.
Right. I'm writing it down. It'll be a reason for us to get out of the house.
There you go.
Oh man, but so yeah, there you go. Dino says you are older but wiser
by 1 year. Thank you, Dino.
So, did you enjoy your week off? What did you have a good birthday?
Good times. I was actually in the chat. Just
I saw
we had plans, but they fell through at the last minute. So I wound up being available to participate in the update in the chat. So which that's fine with me. That's how I like to spend a Thursday night anyway.
Mm-hmm. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. I've been waiting to.
Yes. All right. Good. I was just going to ask if you were able to resist temptation.
I defaced it so nobody was sending me letter bombs, Mikhail. So I will. I'll open this baby live.
Here, yeah,
and not slice into my thigh with an X-Acto knife.
No, don't do that. Unfortunately, you haven't gotten the great blades that Mikhail has sent to me. But
so funny story. Oh, not funny story. Gross story. The first time I built a model car when I was a kid, I was cutting the stuff off the sprues and cut down and buried the X-Acto knife between my big toe and the next toe. Oh. And when I say buried, I mean I had to pry it out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. That's awful.
So yeah, sorry, not a funny story.
Well,
all 3. No. See, you do this a bunch of times, Bill, and people think it's like easy to do on camera.
Right. I know. I'm telling you, I worry every time. I did cut myself that one time. But when I was doing a project in, I think it was 6th grade, where we had to read a book and then build a diorama of that. And I was carving balsa wood. I forget what the book was, but it was something with American Indians or something like that. So I was trying to carve canoes out of balsa wood. Sure. and had my nice wood chisels, with a great V shape, and it went right in the webbing between my thumb and index finger.
Oh, Bill.
Yep. Wow. Yeah. I live and learn. Oh, yeah. Take a look at that. Here, yep. See your full screen.
Can people see?
Yep.
That's amazing. Thank you, Bill.
Well, Chris, you're a good partner on these chats. I love having your opinion. And I was doing a bin dive over at Berkey's house, and I came up with that. Wow. And I was like, you know what? It's a sketch card, but it's by Joe Sinnott, right? I mean,
what's even cooler about this is I don't have a Sinnott.
No,
this honestly, this fills a big hole in my collection. Let me get a nice.
Oh, here, let me go full screen here.
You see the resemblance? Awesome? That's the beauty. I love the expression.
Yeah, no, when I saw that one, I was like, oh, this is great.
I'm a little choked up here, Bill. Thank you.
No, hey, you are quite welcome. I mean,
Very cool.
You sent me beers on my birthday. So, but no, trust me, I've been thinking about it. I saw that card about a month ago, and I asked Mike to set it aside for me, and he did. He was like, oh, that's
Awesome.
a good one. And I'm like, no, I said, I know it's a good one. That's why I'm taking it.
I know exactly where I'm gonna frame it and hang it. So thank you so much.
No, my pleasure, man. Birthdays are special for everybody, right? So no, this is
even at my advanced age.
Well, I'll buy you a beer too when we get to Heroes. So.
Ditto.
All right, good. You're going to be there Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Good. We haven't got the word yet, but I know that George has said that we're going to know next week. So, but next week this time we should know, the start time and the location for the Heroes event. And it's become more. It's not just a art event. They've kind of. Shelton was like, well, why don't we just make it as a Heroes kickoff party? And it's probably going to be all art collectors anyway. But
right.
It's at least now it's official. Shelton will probably show up for a little bit too. So it's going to be a good time. And
yeah, can't wait.
I know. Neither can I.
It's getting me through a lot of like meetings, and when I'm in meeting hell, I'm like, okay, Heroes is only a few weeks away.
That's your zen, your mantra. Yep. But yeah, I was going to drive, but since I just drove through there, I've decided I'm going to fly. I don't want to drive 9 hours and then drive 9 hours back. Yep. So I assume you must be flying, right? You're not going to be driving.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not going to drive that.
All right.
Again, not at my advanced age.
All right, let me get I didn't prep my share screens here. So let me get this in here.
I'll let you know too. I am on Wi-Fi tonight because I got a new laptop and it doesn't have a Cat 5 connector. So I have an adapter that's winging its way here from Amazon, but just in case like something weird happens, I'm on Wi-Fi.
No, everything looks good to me right now.
Okay. So far, so good.
All right. Well, we're gonna start you off, and I know we had said that I was going to pick first, but we didn't do that because I was so far behind. I kind of did it with Larry because when Larry, what was it? It was around Wednesday. I was getting nervous that the day before the show, so I sent Larry my picks, and then he literally was like, "Oh, I've got to cross mine out. I was just going to send you mine." So I actually chose first against Larry. But next week, Chris, I promise you, I'm gonna choose.
You got it. It was getting to be in my mind like a little bit down to the wire. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pick, and if he has any that I happen to already have, I'll redo a couple. So. Well,
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I am so far behind with many things. It's gonna be ugly for the next couple of weeks. But all right, well, let's get your picks here, and I'm gonna have to resize the screen a little bit on a different monitor tonight. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. All right, so we've got the Hardcore Capitalist, their gallery, and George Perez, Brave and the Bold. Look at this beauty.
Yeah, picking Perez this week was, required, obviously. Mm-hmm. And normally I associate Perez with or at least the thing I think I like the best is when he does those jam-packed pieces with characters. But this was something that's kind of along those lines, but distinctly different. So it's actually hard to pick out the characters on this page until you really look it over. But I just loved the sort of like clearly unbridled creativity he was working with here to put this landscape together, and awesome spot blacks. I mean, everything like reads, even as the thumbnail, everything reads perfectly. I bet it's a stunner in color, actually. But just a cool perspective, and I like everything about this piece.
No, I agree. I ended up not picking a Perez because after I saw this one, I was like, well, this is a great exemplary piece. That's funny because when we think of Perez, we always think of massive characters in a shot, and I really like this image as well, just because it was more about everything but figures. I mean, you've got it's intergalactic. It's you've got all the buildings. It's beautiful. There's a little bits of Kirby in there. There's little bits of a lot of other creators in there, but nobody does it like Perez. And yeah, I just love this. I just thought, I had looked and set aside a couple Perez pieces, but when I saw this one, I was like, no, this is the one that I think is just a great example piece. And there were so many good pieces posted.
Really great ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody hasn't, and the same thing with Adams too. I mean, they continue to kind of come out of the woodwork. People are just pulling some pieces out of their collections that they haven't shared on CAF before. But yeah, this was a beauty, and
just great. I mean, I guess I don't often think about Perez, the designer, he is a great designer, but this I think really showcased it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I did get, anybody who can check out this piece should read the whole description as well, because they put a lot of effort in that one. Yeah. All right, I got the like on that one. All right, and I always like when people feature work by Mobius and also include Jean Girard, Girard in their description, just to make sure, because if you don't, somebody's going to miss that piece. So they cover all their bases. When they do that, and there's a few artists where people do that, just to be on the safe side. So, and whose collection is this? Oh, David O. All right.
Yeah, and I think he actually posted another incredible Mobius piece not that long ago. So he's swimming in Mobius, which is kind of a cool place to be. But so this isn't opulent, crazy design, kind of like that last piece, which we often so associate with Mobius, the ridiculous landscapes and cityscapes and things like that. It's more pure figural work, which is, more rare for him. It's also sequentials, which I feel like we just don't see enough of. So for those two reasons, I mean, you can say whatever you want about Mobius, but he's obviously one of the kings of our hobby. But yeah, I just thought this was tremendous because of what it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's and there's definitely not a lot of it's scanned with Cam Scanner. I'm always amazed people who use Cam Scanner to.
It looks okay though.
It does. I mean, I'm impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I've never used it. I think I look at it and I think that it shouldn't be able to do as good a job as it does. But yeah, no, it's a great piece. And like you just mentioned, when I think of Mobius's work, this isn't maybe what I would think imagery wise as being but no, I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think that
great gestural stuff, great expressions, obviously on the Meta Baron for sure. And I got to practice my French a little bit.
I did not take French in high school, so
I did. Much to my chagrin, I did.
I took Spanish, but I mean, I probably should have tried French. But no, this is. But I love whoever does the lettering, right? I mean, it's they just I love looking at the words as much as not as much as the images, but a great deal, just because it's so. It's what you expect to see when you see something by Mobius. But again, yeah, very nice piece. And I did not know they had posted another piece. So I'll have to go check out their CAF gallery.
I think it was the same owner. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we've got Kevin McGuire. What do we got? 2 pages from issue Justice League International 17, pages 13 and 14. And Jeff,
I thought it was cool that he posted both pages, and the layout on both pages being so similar. It's a really cool, like when you see the thumbnail, the fact that it's this grid kind of jumps out at you a little bit. But why do you pick McGuire? McGuire's for the faces, right? And this has got awesome facial expressions, an abundance of them. Plus, you see he has. I don't know if anybody remembers his solo book that he did for, I think it was for Malibu. It was called like Codename Strike Back or something like that. And basically it was like an excuse for him to draw physical comedy in a superhero book. And that's kind of what we have here too. So this is like, I love Kevin McGuire doing what Kevin McGuire does best. And that's on full display here.
No, yeah, I love it. I love the page layout, just like you said. It's very unique. You don't usually get something like this, but yeah, he's done
12
a great.
panel grid.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't think we've seen anything quite like this before.
It's almost like strips that are like assembled.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but I like how it ends with the one wide panel. I mean, they kind
The
of
Sunday.
yeah, it closes things off. Right, it closes everything off with that. But yeah, no, this is everything you'd want in a Maguire. I mean, I really didn't look at it too much before the show, but I'm really enjoying it. So great pickup, Jeff. And it's always nice to have sequential pages like this. And hey, I didn't read it before, but I saw that West is having a birthday soon too. So
hey, happy birthday, West.
Yeah, happy birthday.
We had a lot of cool people with birthdays in May. Nick, West, Beardo.
April too, by the way, a little bit.
Yeah, geez.
It's all in springtime.
Yep.
All right,
That's a good point, Jeff. Yeah, that might be one of the things I like about it is the Giffen layout. That guy loves a grid.
Yeah,
God almighty, he loves a grid.
All right, next up in Dan P's gallery and Ed Hannigan Marvel Universe cover. That's really nice.
This is my hardcore nostalgia pick for the week. I know I've talked ad nauseum about how I kind of came to comics through official handbook of the Marvel Universe.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely got that going for it. But I really have always loved how Iron Man looks on this cover for some reason. And I can't really put my finger on it other than the fact that when he was in the classic red and gold suit, I always liked the artists best who drew him in such a way that you knew that there was a guy in there, that there was a guy in the suit and he wasn't just like a suit of armor running around. Mm-hmm. And I think that for some reason this pose humanizes like the look of the armor to me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, I agree. And I'm trying to figure out what makes that pose a little different. I mean, the head,
it's got the, like, he's kind of slouching and like his head's coming up. Yeah, I don't know what it is either, but I've just always, like, ever since I looked at this cover for the first time, I've really liked that pose for Iron Man.
No, this is a really nice piece. Ed Hannigan's going to have some art for, remember we did that art auction, or not art auction, the art sale with him a few months back. I think he's, I don't know if we're going to do that again with him. They talked about maybe having us help him sell some more art, but I think, Chuck Costas was a part of that. And I know that when we do the preview for the prop store upcoming auction that I think just went live, Ed gave them some of his art to just kind of experiment with in an auction format, since he's never done that before. So I think there's going to be some interesting published pieces coming out, but I haven't been told what they are yet. So just thinking about Ed Hannigan and the opportunities there. But no, this is I mean, you always think of Byrne, right? Typically, for a lot of these. Yep, exactly. But so it's nice that Joe's inking is here. It kind of keeps some continuity, in the art style a bit. But no, very nice.
It's also got two of my favorite Spidey villains on it, which I think most hardcore Spider-Man fans hate, but I really like Hobgoblin and Jack-O-Lantern, and they're both on the back there.
Well, yeah, that's probably true. I mean, I wasn't a big Spidey reader, so I guess I never, but yeah. Well, this is a great pickup by Dan, as always. And if you haven't checked out Dan's CAF gallery in a while, you definitely should. He's just a sucker for these early Marvel handbook covers. Yeah, that's a cool one.
Me too. What if I could?
Yeah, I know I can't either.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a piece by Lawrence Campbell. Whose CAF gallery is this? Oh, Max. All right. I don't think I've ever visited. I've seen the name numerous times, but I've never checked out their CAF.
So I picked this one because I love the, like, almost wood block quality. I mean, it kind of looks like a primitive print in a way. And I think a lot of it is the texture, that the negative texture that he put in the blacks. It has that effect of where, like, you lay the black down and it doesn't quite, everything doesn't quite hit the paper. So you have some like negative space left over. But so I really like that aspect of it. But it's again, to go to this well, it's a great composition. It's got the three, the three basically lines that are, black, and then the subject, and then black again. And he's managed to, in spite of the fact that it does look kind of primitive, he's packed some cool architectural detail in there too, which is nice because the figure, everything else is pretty sparse. So, and Batman is the subject, but I kind of have a hard time saying Batman is the focal point. Like, he's in there, but there's a lot going on here. And it's an effective illustration of Batman for sure, but I actually think what's going on behind him is more interesting.
Yep. And as Eric and Rich both mentioned, it's kind of like an overexposed, kind of posterized filter view on that background.
Like blown out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's very, very well done. And it's got bricks. That's always a plus. But yeah, no, it's a great piece. I was kind of, is there a description on the piece? Is it the piece? It looks a little, like a little bit of ripples in the paper.
There's a lot of ink on that paper, though, right?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's got to be really heavy. I was just curious if the owner noted anything about it. Well, what are you going to do, right? I mean, that's you got to take it however you can. That's
yep.
But it's beautiful, it really is.
I was drawn to it for sure, and I actually don't remember the last time I saw something from Lawrence Campbell. So,
that's why I was just clicking on their name. Just I want to kind of check out more of their work because I haven't seen anything. When was the last piece posted? Okay, yeah, not a lot. Only a couple pieces posted in May. All right, yeah, I've got a separate window open. I'm gonna check that out after the show. All right, cool. All right, next piece, Jim Chung. We got and whose CAF gallery is this? Kit Walker. Cool.
I have a thing piece that's kind of in this same milieu in my CAF gallery, and so this, Jim was doing these incredible Copic illustrations at cons for a few years, and I count myself lucky to have gotten in that window when he was still doing like full body and background and like all that kind of stuff. But I really picked this because I tried to buy this from Jim. He had it sitting on his table at, I want to say it was Wizard World in Chicago. And I'm telling the story because it was so long ago that I kind of didn't fully understand how to get a commission at a con yet. And I thought that it was a pre-done piece that he had purchased. And he's like, oh no, that's a commission. Would you like something? And I was like, hell yeah, I would. Is it going to look like this? So he explained to me that this was already sold and yada, yada, yada. But that's how I got, this piece is how I got my thing piece.
Well, that worked out. That was a good interaction for you then.
For sure.
Yeah, I've always loved Jim's work. I mean, he and Mark Brooks kind of have that same like supple style to the way they do work out tonal things on characters, and really, I love Jim's work. This is great. But it's funny that this was the piece that kind of led you to getting the thing.
Yeah. It's and I mean, not to take anything away from this, it's gorgeous. I thought about buying it when it was up for auction recently, but this lucky fellow picked it up instead.
Well, congrats to them. All right, Jeremy Wilson. I've met Jeremy many times. He exhibits at the IX Arts show in PA every year. Really nice guy, and it was. I really got to know his work like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was cool seeing him transition into doing comic book covers and other spot illustrations and books in the last couple of years. He's really, really, really talented, and I love his style. So this is a great pick.
Well, I had never heard of him before, but I mean, this thing just like leaps out and grabs you, right? I mean, the greens for sure are just incredible. I love the kind of, subtle effect that he has in the, the like pagoda or whatever you want to call it that's behind Burton. It's so cool. He made some really like awesome design choices here. I mean, the layout of this thing is incredible. The likeness is not half bad by any means on both Lopan and Burton. They're both great. The hair, Lopan's hair coming out and like almost being a design element. I effuse praise for this thing. It's a real showstopper.
No, I agree, and it actually influenced one of my picks because I mean I love Jeremy's work. If you're not familiar with him, definitely Google him. I'm not sure what his website URL is, but there are a few pieces of his on CAF. But his style is very much like this. He uses a lot of stark contrast, and like the pagoda in the background, he'll use those silhouettes as design elements in a lot of his work. And yeah, he's really, really talented. So he's got work in those Infected by Art books probably every year. I think for the last 6 years, his peers love him. He's earned everything.
So Bill, is this, you probably know, is this traditional?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're more impressive.
Yep. They're typically, I would guess this is probably like a 12 by 16 painting. So that most of his stuff is around that size. But yeah, no, I've loved this stuff since the first time I saw it. And I regret not buying any because it was really, really affordable 4 years ago when when I noticed him, and I'm like, it's like everything else. I'll be able to get one. And then he started doing book covers, and then it was like, all right, I'm not going to be able to afford anything now.
Well, I love this. Love it.
No, I'm glad you picked that. And like I say, you'll see, I picked a different artist, but same kind of vein, I guess, as Jeremy's work. All right, so Kevin Sharp has this in their collection. Ryan Sook.
This is hot off the presses. I think this was drawn as recently as last weekend. But
for Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, the red eyes. I mean, come on. It's so cool what a little spot color does to this. I mean, it's Ryan Sook, so it's awesome, right? But the red eyes, it just like takes this to another level. I think it's amazing.
Yep. No, I love Ryan's work. So this is, we don't feature the simplest pieces enough. All right. But this one's great. I mean, I'd love to have this in my possession. And we're actually going to see Ryan. I did forget that Marcus sent me a clip, and I didn't show it yet. Oh, and cool. I've got something else to show too, because I knew I should have made a better list here. I've got
we'll hustle.
Yeah, we'll hustle because I've got some other stuff to show off. I'm sorry, everybody. Like I say, I'm off my game being here in this purgatory that is this office with. Yes, I got to get some art on my walls. All right, so Ryan Sook piece in Kevin Sharp's gallery. Nice pickups. We got two more here to look at from Chris. Yes, here we go. Now this is Castellini. All right.
Yep. So Nathan Never, huge character in Italy. I really picked this not because of Nathan Never, but because of Claudio Castellini. I know that there's a lot of fans in the chat. I'm a big fan as well. It's just, just a great, incredibly well rendered, super tight interior page from Nathan Never, and Claudio Castellini cannot get enough praise in my mind.
No, this is a really, really nice piece. And sorry, I'm like trying to multitask here since I've forgotten to do so many things. But but no, I love this one for all the action lines on it. I love this middle panel. Isn't that it's just absolutely beautiful? And no, it's very, very cool. I mean, you look at something like that and you think it's kind of over rendered to kind of show the speed going on there. But I look at it and thinking like, it's just perfect. I mean, give me even more, right? I mean, I love that the last panel, this just really, really well done.
Awesome pacing, reads perfectly. I mean, you know exactly what's happening. It's got it's got that tension. But yeah, great page.
All right, and that was Dallo 76. All right, next and the last piece. This is in Ian Saint's CAF gallery, and it's a killer from Brad Walker and Victor Olazaba.
Wow. I think Brad Walker is like really underrated. I mean, I know he had a pretty significant run on this book. But even I am hard pressed to like give you 2 or 3 other titles that Brad Walker has worked on. So I'm a little bit guilty of it too. But I saw this one. I mean, this one like makes your eyes pop out of your head. It's gross. It's freaky. If you scroll down, the best part about this is the expression on Moondragon's face. And look at how incredibly finely, tightly rendered her face is.
Yeah, no, that's it's great. Ian, congratulations. Ian's in the chat.
Oh, cool. Nice. Awesome piece, Ian.
Yeah, this one's really nice.
And gross. And I mean, just like that creature is so disgusting.
It is. And I like Brad's work a lot as well. He I don't know if is he still rep by Marquet or not, but I've seen a lot of his work before. Met him a few times. Really, really great guy and very, very talented.
Well, that face on Moondragon just absolutely sealed the deal for me. I was like, oh, I gotta pick this. Nice. Right. Did that thing come out of her? Ooh, even worse.
It even gets worse. Wow. That is funny.
Mikhail says Brad Walker has his own site and he has a big cartel. So
good. All right. I didn't think that Mark was still repping him for some reason, but no, that's awesome piece. Congratulations, Ian, on that one.
Great pickup.
And I've got the like on it. All right. So now, so I also forgot to do my weekly flip because what West actually sent me that. So that's why I'm kicking myself. I actually put the video together, forgot to do it. So, all right, let me, I'm going to move.
When you were finishing up the update at like 9 o'clock, I was like, wow, it was blazing tonight.
Right. I knew I was going way too fast. I was out of control.
I didn't say that.
Well, you know,
that Coke is that full-size Coke, Bill.
It is. That's what the problem is.
Losing your
mind.
All
right, let me swap screens here to get this. Get my picks up here, and come on. Yeah, I'm not multitasking tonight very well.
I'm gonna eyeball this Senate for a minute while you're.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you like that.
Oh yeah, that's an understatement.
All right, let me try to resize my screen a little bit here. Okay, so I haven't liked any of these yet either. This is in Rick W's collection, Savage Sword of Conan page, and it's cool. It's penciled by Chaikin and inked by Neil Adams. You got
cool combo.
I know, right? I mean, you know, great storyteller, clearly. You know, and Chaikin. I mean, he's one of the best. At laying out a panel and directing the eye around and just using visual storytelling at its best. And then you get Neil Adams inking him. I mean, look, or Krusty Bunkers mentioned there as well. Yeah, it was. But I mean, this page is great. I mean, the last panel close up on Conan there. I just loved everything about the panel. I love the storytelling. I love the word balloons. And the style of the lettering. So just a really, really great page. And after my interview with Howard, I've been looking actively to find a page by Chaikin, and I haven't really found anything. There's not a lot of his art out on the market. So it's disappointing.
He's got some great stuff. I mean,
I know.
What a storied career the guy has. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll let everybody know. I actually got, and I didn't pick this for that reason at all, but Howard sent. He sent me a couple of the pieces that he's done for his art sale for next month. And he's doing a couple extra cover recreations. No Star Wars this time. I mean, he did that one for the last show, but he's doing a couple cover recreations and again, a whole slew of character kind of commissions. So, and the ones he sent me look great. So I'm looking forward to doing that with him again. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Next up. The Flash. I'm trying to mix in my DCs here, everybody. No, non-mutant stuff. Carmen Infantino penciling on this one. Just an awesome title page. I mean, I love the clothing on I don't even know who these Hear Me or any of that. I don't know who the first character is at all, but I love the costume. The way they've rendered the shirt and pants, and then come on, that the second image with the Flash. I mean, that's pure Infantino.
When he's putting his costume on, like in the speed lines, that's pure Infantino for sure.
I just love that, and and I never even read the Flash, but I always dug the way they always did the costume changes with him. That's just so.
Well,
cool.
I'll bail you out a little bit because I love the Flash, and I have no idea who that character is on the left side.
If I was reading it, I was trying to think, are they going to mention it?
I have no idea who that is. Maybe Nick will save us.
Who calls himself the Eradicator? Who knows? But clearly his costume doesn't fit him really well. But it's drawn fantastically. You know, I mean, but yeah. So both those two things going on there just made me love this page. And you know, title pages again. I pick a lot of them, but so this is just a super cool one. And yeah, the whole costume coming out of his ring, just such a crazy concept. And
so Silver Agey.
Yep, and it's always worked so well. And here's another one with lots of action lines. I can see more. I mean, can he cram any more into this space? Probably not, but love it. Absolutely love it. And Paul P's collection just continues to get better and better.
Yep, he's a killer.
So, yes, he is. So Chris K had a momentous purchase last week. Not only did he get the cover to Miracle Man issue 21, but also all the interiors as well. And posted all of that to CAF. And so I was thinking of just featuring an interior page, but then I thought, you know what, the cover is probably the exemplary piece to highlight from it, but it's a cool mixed media piece. And but I mean, how cool. You mentioned working out a deal with Buckingham and Joseph Melchior, who reps him to get the whole complete issue cover and interiors as well. And I mean, what a great feeling. A piece of art, a story that's been out there that long, still in the artist's hands, and makes its way to a collector. I mean, that's a feeling that I'll probably never have. I mean, for me, there's a lot of issues I love, but I could never, and any of those books that would be at the top of my list, I don't think I could ever own. But you could tell that this was something really precious and special to Chris. And congratulations on just a super amazing pickup. And again, it's something that will never be split up, right? I mean, it's always going to be cherished, and I think that's what makes our hobby so special.
And this is such a uniquely crafted piece. I mean, for most of us, you're never going to have a collage like this. Yeah, thank you, Ruben. Yeah. You're not going to have a collage like this in your collection because nobody does this.
Right, exactly. I mean, and this is a really good write-up in here by Chris as well. So if you have the time, definitely go ahead and read through it, because he was just talking about Buckingham being like right at the top of his game. Really was just feeling his creative, roots and just doing whatever the heck he wanted to do, and it was coming out amazing. And it's true. You look at this piece, and it's awesome. I'd love to see it in person.
Gaiman seems to bring that out of these guys.
Right.
You've got McKeon and basically working kind of in the same not style, but the same method.
Right. That's true, because McKeon did a lot of collage types of works as well. So this is fantastic.
Very cool.
Yep. And I featured a piece by Steve Crozier a couple weeks ago, and then this piece popped up. Ed Hannigan. Again, Dan Green inks. Just a nice Defenders page. I like the layout. I like the flow. I've always liked Hannigan's work a lot. For me, it's I guess I could say this is a nostalgic pick, though I can't say that Defenders was a title that I picked up every month. But just for the period, this is a page I'd love to have in my collection. It's so nice. Got a lot of characters on it from Defenders. I mean, you got. I like the Hulk, the way the Hulk is rendered in here. And at any rate, great page, lots of word balloons, and it still flows really well.
Yeah, emblematic for the period for sure. I mean, this is anything you'd want in a Defenders page from this era for sure.
Yep, I agree. Let me get my like on that one, and here we go. Here was my pick to against yours. This is an artist named Rob Ray, and Rob is also always at the IX art shows, and this is a piece that was done for Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm a sucker for anything like that, but Rob is another super nice guy. He's like probably one of the nicest guys in that that's working in sci-fi fantasy that I've ever met. He had one of his artworks was actually the cover to one of the Infected by Art books we did, I think the 5th one.
Cool.
But he's just an amazing painter, and I'm certain there's probably not even 20 pieces of his on CAF, and assuming it is probably the best. But yeah, he's just fantastic. I mean, I've known him for a long time, and he's done a lot of personal paintings, and it's cool to see him getting more mainstream sci-fi fantasy work for D&D, and I think he's done a few pieces now for Magic the Gathering. So this is my complimentary pick to yours from your Jeremy pick. So
I like it. I would definitely not buy pastries from this old gal though.
No,
I think she might only sell to the blind. I'm guessing that castle in the background, or that kind of manor or whatever in the background there, is like a school for the blind, and she's going to ply her wares there.
And this is in our pal Stephen N's CAF gallery, and Steve's been picking up a lot of cool artwork in the same genre. It's an area of passion for him. He was on. It's been on chats before, so everybody knows Steve's penchant for this style of work, and I like it. I like seeing it because I don't collect. I collected it a lot more, say 5 or 6 years ago, than I do now. So it's just really nice to see these pieces pop up on CAF.
It's so effective at. I mean, that's a scene, right? That's a full scene onto itself, right there.
Yeah. So Rob Ray, everybody, seek him out. Okay. Next up, this is in Jim D'Amico's CAF gallery. Jim's always he always posts good stuff. This is a piece by Jose Gonzalez. It's a Vampirella title. Is it a title page, splash page? I guess it's a title page. Just love everything from, this is the same kind of magazine period that I always kind of gravitate towards when I see it. Lots of copy setting up the scene, probably from whatever happened in the prior issue. I actually didn't read it. But I love the tonal work in the background where, drawing the bricks and the stone work and not drawing the outlines to it. I just really liked the way this page was put together. It doesn't need the details to kind of build the scene, to flesh out the floor and the wall behind them. But I guess I didn't notice the needle that they're about to inject her with, but maybe I should have read the title a little bit more.
Sign of the times.
Yes, exactly.
This thing from a stylistic perspective is like really unique. I mean, the way the male figures in particular are drawn and inked. This is really different. It's really cool.
It is. I mean, I'm looking at it now, and I like it even more. I mean, it's the way the word, the story's set up at the top, the way it's painted with the logo on it as well. I mean, everything about this page really is just. I was blown away when I saw it. I'm like, damn,
I missed it somehow.
The character shadows on the wall. I mean, everything about it is so well constructed. So. Yeah, congrats to Jim for getting this one. Jim buys and sells a lot, so who knows how long he'll keep it in his possession. I mean, some pieces I'm sure are like his permanent stuff, but he's always got a good eye for things. And and he gets a lot of stuff from Berkey too. I should ask Mike if this went through his hands, because I would have loved to have seen this one in person before he sold it, if he did.
Just really, I can't even. I'm struggling to think of something to even compare it to. It's really different.
Yeah. No, it's
stylistically. I mean, the subject matter and whatever, it's 70s or 80s Vampirella, but yeah.
Marcus says I didn't see it at Berkey's yet. Yes, they trade a lot. I know, Marcus. So no, I have not seen it at Berkey's yet. But yeah, very cool. I mean, again, this one was an easy no-brainer pick for me. So congratulations to Jim on that one. And Daryl's Batcave, of course, Daryl R. I had to pick this one, and this scan is small, and as everybody can see, it's small. I was like, why did he scan it so small, like the DPS? But fortunately for all of us, he did do really nice detailed scans of either side of the DPS, because those bottles are freaking awesome. I mean, and I know he was making jokes that this is probably one of the people's least favorite Punisher stories out
for
there.
Sure.
But this is, you got Wrightson, so it doesn't matter how bad the story is. You've got some pretty darn nice artwork there. And let me see if I can go over to the other one here. again, the bottles are worth the price of the page. I mean, at the end of the day, I think, like he said, it's not a Frankenstein, where you get all the tubes and whatnot. But again, you get all these nice bottles on the shelf, and that's Wrightson. So I picked this piece. I didn't even look at the color one. I might be disappointed. Yeah. Okay, I'm disappointed. I won't look at that.
It's real bad.
Yeah. But a great piece of art, and I'm sure Daryl's happy to add this to his collection. I've seen. I thought about picking up, because this is like, as far as Wrightson goes, these pages are still semi-affordable, right?
Oh, absolutely. The other the Punisher POV stuff too. I mean, I think Mike even had a couple pieces on Dueling Dealers, but I've been in the past tempted to pick up the POV stuff because it's not the demon slaying or angel slaying, whatever Punisher this garbage is.
Right.
But I mean, it's still Bernie Wrightson, so it's great.
No. So congratulations, Daryl. The Bat Cave gets another work of art added to the wall. And this one's by Jeff Wedding. It was May the 4th week last week, and I was initially there was so many cool Star Wars pieces. Initially, I wasn't going to pick any. But then I was like, all right, you know what? A nice droids piece by Romita Sr. and Al Williamson. So, because there's definitely not a lot of the pieces from these books on CAF, but I just was like, you know what? I got to pick one May the 4th representative piece. So here was my Star Wars pick from last week, and just fun. I thought Romita Sr. as a choice on this.
Yeah.
I wonder what he was thinking when he was drawing.
And Williamson too.
Right, exactly. But nice piece. Jeff posted several artworks from the Star Wars universe last week. This was the piece I chose.
I like it.
All right, we got 2 more to go. This was my signature piece for the show. Terry Dodson, Rachel Dodson, X-Men Wedding Special. Like on that one. This is in Brian Lake's CAF. Who doesn't like the romance between these two? But there's been so many creative ways to kind of deal with Kitty, phasing through different things, and here we have her phasing through Colossus. I mean, we've seen different ways that artists have rendered a similar scene with the two of them. But this one is it's just so lovely. the Dodsons working together make beautiful artwork, and man, it's so awesome. I would love to own this piece. It's just so, Colossus is drawn perfect. She's drawn perfect. It's from a time period where they were, obviously they were in love. Yeah. But it's very joyful. And I saw this piece and I was like, I got to make that the show thumbnail, because it brought me joy.
It's cool. I like, so Dodson, I think, is, like Adam Hughes or one of those guys where you typically associate Terry Dodson with drawing like, beautiful women. Mm-hmm. But I think, by comparison, the quality of their male figural work gets lost in the shuffle. And like you said, Colossus is just perfectly drawn here.
Yeah, Rich Danny says he needed Windex to remove the lipstick marks. Poor Colossus. Yes, but that one's a good one. And let's see, did I click off of that? All right, so one more piece of art from me here, and I'm a sucker for Thor art. So Coipel here is I love his approach to the Thunder God, and here we get them both. So the Unworthy Thor. I didn't even read the title on this one. I just saw it and I was like, this one's mine. Clearly came off of Quan's site because it's got his watermark on there. Yep. But yeah, I love Coipel's whenever he draws Thor. So this is a cool image. Cool to see them together. It's one, as much as I still haven't seen the Doctor Strange movie, I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm more looking forward to the Thor movie later this summer.
Yeah, this is a great Coipel, and I think what's maybe extra cool about it in my mind is that he hasn't actually drawn him in his quote unquote classic costume all that many times, and so you see here he's obviously in that suit, so nice added benefit. But the washes, the tonal stuff that he does, I mean, it's even it's beyond tonal because it's almost he's got sort of color in here, right? But yeah, I love these things. There was a series of these covers, and they're all bangers.
Yep, I agree. And
I agree with Tim Guerrero too in a big way.
Let's see, where is it? Oh, there you go. Coypel's fabulous problem is the pricing on his art. Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Quan is that. Yeah, that's the other dealer that's at Como this weekend. Is Quan? He shot me an email.
Olivier is there as well. I know he is.
Who is?
Olivier Coypel is there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why he was going. Right. That's what he told me. Whenever Quan goes out of town, he makes me turn his website off. So it's always, yeah, if you go to Quan Chang right now, it's I don't even, he told me just to put a message up there. I think it says like back soon or something like that. But so I've had, and he's done that for years. Whenever he goes out of town, he does that. And he's the only dealer that does, because he's like, I don't want to get any emails about people wanting to buy something while I'm out of town. I'm like, really?
It's a particular guy.
I would think that it doesn't matter where you are, you'd want to be selling artwork. But no, Quan's like, right. I got it. If I'm not home, I don't want to have that happen. Okay. So, all right. Well, we did it again, Chris. And, I'm glad you liked the card. I mean, again, your work here has been incredible. It's made this show so much more fun. And, obviously the other guys who've been on as well, but you helped start this thing off. And if it wasn't for the collector conversations, right, we probably would never have thought to do this, but you've been a great addition to the show. And I can't thank you enough for doing everything that you've done to make this show more fun for all of us.
Oh, thanks, Bill. I owe you a debt of gratitude as well, because this is like I've mentioned before, this is a big bright spot in my week. So I appreciate it.
Okay. My pleasure. Well, have a great weekend. And I don't have anybody on the schedule coming up, so nobody's asked. So I'll be seeing you next week. I'm in it to win it. All right. Sounds good. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Now, I do apologize to both Marcus and to Wes, because I totally screwed up not talking about the two pieces that were things that were sent to me. Now, Marcus sent me a little clip from Free Comic Book Day. It's very short, but I will show that it has Ryan Sook in it. That's why it reminded me of that. And thank goodness that reminded me that I didn't do the weekly flip that we started last week. And I hope we continue that as a weekly little bit to the show. So here is the clip that Marcus sent me. And I've actually not watched it either. And again, it's 23 seconds long.
We're here at the Escapist Comics in Berkeley. One of the best shops in the world as far as I'm concerned.
Great shop.
Yep, and here with Ryan Sook for Free Comic Book Day.
It's great to be in a great shop on Free Comic Book Day and creating some original art every once in a while.
Howdy, Bill. Hey, everyone.
All right, thank you.
All right, I got a howdy, Bill, from Felix. So Felix is actually doing he's scheduled to do the first panel next Saturday, but he still hasn't told me whom is going to be the subject of that panel. So hopefully I got to pin him down tomorrow, because he's one of the last people who committed to doing a panel but haven't told me who the guest is going to be. So hopefully I'll have an answer on that soon. Maybe it'll be Ryan, but he had Ryan on last time. So, all right, Wes, now it's your time to shine on the weekly flip. Of course, we started this last week with Mikhail, and so far nobody else has sent me anything other than Wes. So Wes put together a nice clip. It is vertical, so I kind of spread it out a little bit, zoomed in a little bit to make it kind of formatted a little bit better. Anybody else wants to do one of these, please let me know. I will give you a Google Drive to post it, or you can post it to one of your share sites as well, and I'm happy to download it and show it as a regular bit on the show. And I promise I won't forget any more. I'll put it in the middle, but I should do it back to back with the EXP. But here is the weekly flip, and here we go.
Here's an art portfolio I picked up about 15 years from Michael's. What I like about it is it has zipper on all three edges, so you can zip it up. You don't have to worry about bugs or other things getting into the art. So I'm going to show some of the pieces in here. It's an early appearance of the new X-Men. 2 consecutive pages to House of Secrets 92 by Bernie Wrightson. For Swamp Thing. Here's McFarlane, Black Costume Spidey. Pretty cool Defenders cover. John Romita cover. One of my favorite G.I. Joe covers. Amazing Spider-Man #1 from 1980. This is a page from that book. Another Bernie Wrightson. This is a cover. FF 122. Rob Liefeld cover. You get Spider-Man and Superman on this page. Murphy Anderson. That was a great tone cover he did. 2 Transformer covers from the first series. King Kong. I have several Marvel team-up covers. This is the second appearance of the Meteor Man, a creation by Steve Ditko. Here's my favorite Matt Wagner piece. In homage to Detective 31. First Terminator by Dark Horse. One of the first 6 or 7 comic books I ever got was Justice League number 227. Luis Dominguez cover. And Eric Larson, Cosmic Spidey page. There's some more G.I. Joe covers. That's a Mike Zeck. Frank Springer. Amazing Spider-Man 82 by Marie Severin and John Romita. This is the second cover of The Black Cat by Keith Pollard. And a page from What If #1.
Yeah, the thing was, I was watching the flip as well, so then I glanced over at all the great comments. So fantastic, Wes. Thank you for doing this. One thing I'd like to know is what was that brand of portfolio, because maybe they don't sell it at Michael's anymore, but it clearly held a lot of art, and and I like the fact they used the back. It looked like you had backing boards and all the art there as well. It just made, when you were flipping it over, I saw no bending of the sleeves at all. It looked really, really well done. So yeah, that was quite an impressive flip. And so what is the flip? It's just, hey, anybody who's got a portfolio of art that would like to kind of film it, talk about their art. I mean, you don't even have to talk about it if you don't want to. I'll just say it's from this person or that, and we can just show you flipping through whichever portfolio you like. It doesn't have to be full of covers like Wes was. I mean, it can be like Mikhail did last week. It was commissions full portfolio. So yes, there you have it. A excellent, example of a collector who's got, I mean, West has a great collection, but then you see that was like all the best stuff in one portfolio. So I'd love to know the model of that portfolio and just to see if they're still around, because I've always preferred, I like the Itoyas to take around to shows, but I've always typically liked to have, see, I should have had my art portfolio with me, but I prefer a handle on that portfolio that has sleeves like that you can add extra ones in it with a nice binder in the center. So please, somebody has to step up and has to follow that for next week. Anyone, don't make me do it. I can't do it because I don't have my art with me. But yes, somebody should step up and just hit me with an email. We'll figure out how to get the file to me, and we'll share it here, and it'll be fun. I mean, these are just another way to kind of enjoy the hobby. And I like seeing last week I like seeing that how Mikhail had organized his collection, and here I just like seeing he's got West had all the hits right in that one portfolio. So yes, I see Marcus has mentioned the need for an all grommet flip. So Ruben, you should do it. Come on, Ruben, you can do a flip for us all. We'd love to see it. So there you have it. But again, I really enjoyed seeing this the first time Mikhail did one, and I just thought it was a cool idea. So help me out here. Send me some more. We'll post them next week, and I promise I won't wait till the end of the show to do it. So let's see. Can I do some shadow? You're right. Look at that. Well, let me see. It's been a long time. That's about as good as I can get right there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a pretty good kind of duck turkey thing over there. But all right, I'm going to have something on the wall behind me before next Tuesday. Am I even on Tuesday? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. But no, Saturday. Shoot, well, Saturday it's during the day, so it'll be bright and sunny in here, so we won't be able to do shadow animals. But at any rate, thanks for that one, Rich. Let's see. That portfolio also has clearer pages. All right. Well, everybody, again, lots of fun. I went over 2 hours. I didn't think I would, but thanks for tuning in. Please, check out the show on Saturday if you're able. It's a weekend, but at 2 p.m. we'll have that the amateur dueling dealer show between Sharon and Kat again, and then also I don't have a firm time yet, but I believe 10 a.m. Eastern I will be doing that live show with Tatiana from Lake Como. So it'll probably be about an hour. But if anybody wants to tune in and check that out, it will be it'll be a good time. And Frank says he misses the echo. That was the real reason for getting in here, because I went back and listened to my interview with Frank, and I thought everybody was, I think, just being nice to me, saying that it wasn't echoing that much. But when I listened to it, I was like, I got to get out of that room. So anyway, thank you, everybody. And again, I've got tomorrow night off, but I'll be back at it on Saturday morning. And if I don't see you this weekend, have a great weekend. And I will see you next week. You'll see Larry on Monday doing the Comic Art Live preview. And look for my teaser email tomorrow. I will definitely have the booth preview set up in there so that people can kind of get a feel for who will be exhibiting at Comic Art Live next weekend. Have a great night, everybody. Oh, wait a minute. Before I sign off. Okay, here we go. Now I'll sign off.